Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we honor our veterans as we take a look at the township's Veteran Day ceremony, and we'll let you know when to catch it in its entirety. Then local artist Kevan Lunney stops by the EBTV studio to discuss some work that is currently on display at the library. Vivian Leung reports from Playhouse 22, where the production of Spamalot is currently running through November 24th. And Karen Perry, Manager of Information Services at the library, tells us what the library is doing to help residents make sense of the Affordable Care Act. All this plus a special in our schools for the ribbon cutting of the new playground at Frost Elementary School. So stay with us.
Today I'm honored to stand before you representing all the residents of the great township of East Brunswick as we honor and thank our veterans for their service. Throughout the past 95 years, our nation has been at war, and each and every time our armed forces have been there to defend us. There is no way to properly thank the men and women who sacrificed to allow us to live free in this country of ours. No one could replace the loss of life we have experienced during these times of unrest, or the months, sometimes years, away from family and friends, from those who are lucky to return home. These men and women willingly serve because they know they are that their greatest reward is one of achievement and honor. They are part of the best armed forces in the world. No other country's armed forces has done a greater good, showed greater courage, and conducted themselves with the valor we see in our men and women. To honor our veterans, we must keep the promises we have made to them. We must continue to care for those who have been injured in the service of our country and for their families. We must honor and remember those who have died. And we must remember those whose fate still remains undetermined. On behalf of the township, I thank those of you who have served our country, and I thank those of you who have lent us your family member or friend to serve our country. May God bless all our veterans and their families today and each and every day.
Veterans will help shape our future. They are our future carpenters, our plumbers, our electricians. They are our future engineers, our doctors and our lawyers. They are our teachers, our professors, our nurses. Someone will be the new mayor. I hope it's a veteran one day. Some of them will be members of Congress. I hope they are veterans. Someday, maybe even the new president. Veterans will own every part of these United States and will make our country better for what they have done, and most importantly, for what they will continue to do. We Americans owe each of our veterans from every generation our support and our gratitude. For those of you who are now transitioning into civilian life, we must do everything we can to help you find a job, start a business, to obtain the quality education that they deserve. Our veterans are precious national resources. They stand ready to contribute to our economic recovery and a strong America. Every day, I ask each and every one of you to find a way to thank and honor a veteran. Nothing means more to a veteran than knowing that their service and sacrifice has been appreciated by all of you here at home. Thanks to our veterans, our American dream is safe and secure for us and our children. I want to end with a personal belief. I believe that the greatest gift ever given to the United States is the gift of freedom. But I believe that almost as equal to that is that second greatest gift that was ever given to the United States. And that is our soldiers, our sailors, our Marines, our Coast Guardsmen, and our airmen, who have defended that gift of freedom from every evil known to man all over this world for each and every generation. May God continue to bless members of the United States military. May God continue to bless our veterans, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Joanna Baruch of the East Brunswick Arts Commission. I'd like you to meet one of our display artists of this month, November, Ms. Kevan Lunney. She's here to tell us about herself and her beautiful works of art. Hi, Kevan.
Hi, Joanna.
Hi. So the first question I have for you today is, how do you develop an idea, and how does that idea become a new piece?
Sometimes I don't actually know where the idea comes from, but it's usually an idea that seats itself in my mind and won't let go. Recently, I was working on this idea of a very large, powerful black horse, and I don't know where that imagery came from. And in my mind, I knew that this big, powerful black horse needed to be on a very large, powerful piece. And I prepared plans and graph paper and sketches about this horse and it powerfully, running across the landscape. In the end, when I prepared my fabric, it was going to be a 10-foot wide piece. And I had to break it down into panels in order to make it manageable under my sewing machine. In the end, this horse came out like a delicate little black filly. And
Wow.
It was kind of a surprise to me as well. And I looked at it and I thought, gee, why did that happen? And so often that happens in the middle of working on a piece. You have to give up your own idea and you have to go with what is. Very often that happens. And sometimes you have to ask yourself, what was really going on in your head at one time that changed in a different time. And sometimes it's just a matter of artistic ability or inability or the day that makes that happen. But what I really enjoyed about that piece was I knew it was about time. And at one point, my idea about time was my own feeling that time is rushing forward like a big angry horse, kind of without my permission. And I feel like I'm getting older, and that was kind of one take on it. In the process of working on this piece, a friend I know committed suicide. And it put a different spin on, I think, the fragility of time. And I think that's why there was a change. I think it also relates to my youngest going off to college. And time started to feel like a young horse. A young horse or a young human being just goes about what they do with very little thinking about the future, the consequences. And so now my feeling about time was much more tenuous and much more innocent. Like this sweet little horse, just playing, just going forward, just free. And many of my pieces of work recently in my archaeology series are heavy with paint and gold leaf. And this piece, interestingly, I said time doesn't want to be trimmed or bordered or hemmed in or covered with paint. It's free. It keeps moving. It goes. No matter what happens in the world, it just keeps flowing forward like this young horse. So that piece was much fresher and much more raw. And the way I worked on that piece, because it was so large, was I would put it on cardboard on my deck. And I would work on it, and then I would run upstairs and look out the bathroom window, and I would take a picture on my cell phone, and I would assess it, and then I would run back downstairs and work on it.
I love it.
I would run back upstairs and look at it and assess it again, and run back downstairs and work on it. And it was the only place where I could get perspective from it, because it's larger than my room, my sewing room. So that was really fun. The main panel of that piece with the horse is hanging in the cases here in the library.
Wow. Everyone must see this. It's fascinating. Your process is very interesting.
Thank you.
Well, you've just come back from Chicago from an art fair called SOFA. What does SOFA mean?
It stands for the Sculptural Object and Functional Art Fair. It's one of the oldest art fairs in the United States. They were just celebrating their 20th anniversary, so it was a nice occasion, a big celebration. I was invited by a gallery from Argentina to participate at the show, and I had 4 pieces of artwork hanging. It was quite an experience to meet fiber art collectors from around the world and attend some lectures. I actually met the head of the textile department in the Denver Art Museum.
Wow.
And it was a nice connection. A
That's
lovely
great.
show.
Wonderful. Well, the Arts Commission has happily selected you to share your work in the display cases outside in the library. So tell us what's there. What can we expect to see?
Well, I tried to give an overview of my work. There's 2 actual pieces hanging. One of the archaeology series that has a tree on it. I call it Leadwood Tree. And the other piece is that central section showing the horse of the larger 10-foot wide piece. So this is about 3 or 4 feet wide chunk of that piece. And I have a digital picture frame that flips pictures of my work so that you can get an idea of my work. And there's a small bowl-shaped piece with the words mindfulness and compassion embroidered on the inside. And there's a book that I refer to quite often that's, I forget the title of it, something like Ancient, in Words of the Ancients, I think. So it has pictures of text throughout history, cuneiform hieroglyphics, the Dead Sea Scrolls, things like that in the book, and that's a large part of my inspiration. On the back of the case of one of the cases is literally what goes on behind the scenes, kind of in my head and in my studio. So I included 8, I don't know if they're exactly lessons of life, but they're things I kind of use to guide myself, kind of thoughts in my head. Things like focus and play, experiment, study, and each little word is illustrated with something out of my studio that I have collected over the years to kind of illustrate those points.
I got a little look at it before we came in here today, and it's wonderful.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
absolutely lovely. And the very first thing I thought of was the Dead Sea Scrolls, exactly as they look at the shrine of the book. And wow, it was very striking. But not exactly. Of course, it's your work, and it's beautiful and lovely. And thank you so much for coming in and talking with me today.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
And come and see Kevin's artwork. It's wonderful, and you will walk out amazed. Thank you.
This is Vivian Leong reporting for This Week in East Brunswick, and we're at the East Brunswick Community Arts Center for Playhouse 22's Monty Python Spamalot. Right next to me is Adam Neary, the executive producer. Adam, can you tell me a little bit about the play?
Monty Python had a movie back in the 1970s called Search for the Holy Grail. And this is the musical rendition of it, which came to fruition probably back in about 5 or 6 years ago. And it's just, they say, lovingly ripped from the movie.
It's a musical based on the Monty Python and the Holy Grail film, which is about the Arthurian quest for the Holy Grail. Lots of silliness ensues, and the musical sort of capitalizes on that and makes it even sillier.
And how did you decide to do Spamalot for Playhouse 22?
Well, I've been a Monty Python fan since I was about 8 years old, and so when the musical was done in 2004, I went to go see it in previews, and I've loved it ever since. And as soon as the rights were available, I brought it to the Playhouse, and we decided to do it. So the rest is crazy history.
How did you hear about Spamalot?
We actually know the director, Mark, and
advertised, and kind of frequently just check out playhouse22.org online and just see what's coming up. And we actually had seen Spamalot at in the State Theater last year, so we're kind of on a roll. Every time we see Spamlet around, it's like we try to go see it. So.
And how does this production compare to your previous shows?
Great show. It was so far really good. We really had to see this one.
And this is a really big production. How did you get the players in and the cast ready?
We had 3 nights of auditions. I saw quite a few people. I had to take the best of the best.
Who will be starring in this musical?
Well, our King Arthur is Greg Newton, who's one of our veterans on stage. He's a classically trained opera singer who's actually out of character here and doing a comedy. Most of his parts are very serious and much more mature parts, but he came out like everybody else, and we felt he was perfect for the part, so we cast him.
What kind of players are in here?
There's a number of people from East Brunswick, but there's people from every part of this county and parts of Mercer County in the area. And they come out and audition. It's open auditions. Anybody and anybody can audition.
But they've come from all over New Jersey to be in the show, so it's very gratifying for us at Playhouse, and me personally, to have a cast that's as dedicated as this one.
And what is the most exciting scene, do you think, of the play?
That's a tough question. I don't want to give away too much of the show. People have to come see it. There's some, if you're a Monty Python fan, we've incorporated some things in the show that was not part of the original musical.
And what kind of surprises can the audience expect tonight?
Well, if I told you the surprises, they wouldn't be surprises. But you can expect a killer rabbit, a wooden rabbit, several knights running around like crazy, and perhaps a Carmen Miranda number.
And what were some challenges of putting this production together?
There's a lot of technical challenges with it in terms of the lights, in terms of sound, in terms of set. There's a lot of scene changes. There's a lot of costume changes.
A lot of the challenges is the choreography. And remember, we were all volunteers here, so you don't have Broadway quality dancers, but they learn their stuff. And I mean, every show is a challenge, but at the end of the day, they all come together and they enjoy it. And we're all, once again, volunteers. And the love of the theater just comes out on stage.
They're awesome. So it's local, it's easy to come to, and it's a lot of fun.
How are you enjoying yourself so far?
It's a lot of fun. The crowd seems to be really enjoying it, and you like hearing all the chuckles from everybody because they've updated it, from each show, and it's fun. It's a great evening.
Well, it runs now through November 24th. Shows are Friday and Saturdays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 3 p.m.
How can people purchase the tickets?
Well, there's a couple ways. One, you can always log on onto our website at playhouse22.org. You can always call our box office at 732-254-3939, or just come to our box office window. But I'll caution people that tickets are selling fast, and most shows are getting close to be sold out already, so you probably should go online and get your tickets sooner than later.
I hope you enjoyed Playhouse 22's Monty Python Spamlet playing at the East Brunswick Community Arts Center. Show times will be Fridays and Saturdays 8 p.m. and Sundays at 3 p.m. For more information, check out playhouse22.org. I'm Vivian Leong reporting for This Week in East Brunswick. We'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm John Sasenti from the East Brunswick Public Library. I'm here today with Karen Parry, Manager of Information Services, and we're going to discuss the Affordable Care Act, how the library is supporting it, and what it's doing to help its patrons. Hi, Karen.
Hi, John. Thank you for having me. The Affordable Care Act, on March 23, 2010, President Obama passed a new law that has led to sweeping legislation overhaul of our healthcare system. The Affordable Care Act was designed to bring affordable health care to between 30 and 45 million uninsured individuals. Millions of people can go online to www.healthcare.gov and shop for and find affordable health care for themselves and their family. This new legislation, John, has brought many, many good things to our families throughout the nation. For example, 80% of all dollars now of insurance companies have to be spent on health care. People, families and their children can no longer be denied because of pre-existing conditions. And there'll be many new preventative services that are offered, such as mammograms and annual wellness visits. All of the plans will have to have these basic things. So if anyone in your family has any pre-existing conditions, they can no longer be denied. People will be able to shop through the Affordable Healthcare Marketplace for a choice of 4 plans: the Bronze, Silver, Gold, and Platinum. These plans all vary based on how much the consumer will be expected to pay in premium, as well as out-of-pocket costs for each of the medical services provided.
Oh, that's great. So what has the library done to promote the Affordable Care Act?
Well, we know, John, that 37% of library users come to the library and are using our computers to search for health and wellness information. So we do know, based on those numbers, that a lot of these same people are going to be turning to the library to help them shop in the marketplace. Now, the librarians have always provided guidance for services such as tax information, and this really is not that dissimilar. People are coming to the reference desk asking the librarians where they can find information, how they sign up, can we help them sign up. So basic services of our librarians are still being provided as it relates to the Affordable Health Care Act. The library has been very proactive in helping people find access to information, to learn about the different plans, and to find out where they could register for the plan. Now, the library is not, we do not register people. You have to be a trained, certified application counselor in order to help people to actually enroll. However, we can direct you to those certified application counselors that are based at St. Peter's University Hospital location on Howell Lane in New Brunswick. We can give you their hours, their address, and we can also give you information to websites about the plan. Now, our library does have, through the library website, a link through our Just for the Health of It initiative that takes you directly to our information that we have been compiling about the Affordable Care Act. Shari Walensky Farmer, a library volunteer, has been working aggressively to help the library to put together an ongoing document that we keep on our website of the most common questions that we are seeing from our customers. Shari is a highly qualified individual to explain to people in very simplified language how to understand the plans and which is best for their family. Shari has worked as a physical therapist and healthcare attorney, as director of managed care for the JFK Health System in Edison, and as a contract negotiator and clinical research at UMDNJ and Johnson & Johnson. Shari holds a master's degree in public health from Rutgers, where she studied health care policy and the Affordable Care Act.
Well, it sounds like we have a lot of wonderful information at the library. What do patrons do when they want to find this information out? Who do they see?
They should come to the information desk, and the librarian will direct them to our website at www.welllinks.org, also available through the library main website at EBPL.org, which will take you to the library's link for our Affordable Care Act. And Shari Walensky Farmer has put together a list of the most common questions that people have to simplify understanding the Affordable Care Act. Librarians can also direct you to the certified application counselors and where they're located in their hours so that they can help you to register for the plans. John, I did want to mention 2 things. The library is going to be holding a program on November 21st taught by consumer health advocate Catherine Woodfield entitled What is the Affordable Care Act? It'll be held at 7 o'clock p.m. November 21st, that's a Thursday. And on Wednesday, December 11th, the library is actually inviting the certified application counselors from St. Peter's here to the library. This will be an appointment-based service only, and the library will be advertising, whereby you can actually sit with a counselor, review the plans, and they can actually help you sign up.
Well, great. Well, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, John. It's been a pleasure.
Robert Frost Elementary School has a large tree-lined playground with soccer fields and basketball hoops, but it's missing one important element. Well, that has changed. Thanks to a vision and much creative fundraising by dedicated PTA members, the dream of such a play structure is now a reality. In order to purchase the play structure, the PTA raised $30,000, with the remainder of the cost funded by the Board of Education. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was enthusiastically attended by the entire Frost School community.
Since becoming the co-presidents of the PTA in 2012, Mrs. Mandler and Mrs. Skidmore, along with Mrs. Warren and the rest of the parents at Frost School, have been dedicated to the mission of obtaining a new playground for Frost, working tirelessly to raise funds and get parents on board. The perseverance of our PTA has finally paid off.
Talented Frost School students read an original poem about their new play structure.
Have you seen our new playground? Have you seen our new playground? It's as awesome as can be. We have climbing walls, a squiggly side, and a monkey bars. Come and see. Have you seen our new playground?
Where imaginations soar, a captain's wheel, a drum to beat, and a fossil of a dinosaur.
Have you seen our new playground? Thanks to the Board of Ed and our PTA, we look forward to lunch and recess because now there's somewhere safe to play.
Principal Loretta Payette capped off the event by sliding down one of several slides with two of her students.
Okay, boys and girls, so our playground is now officially open. Your safeties are putting together a video for you to be shown on the morning broadcast about how to use each piece of equipment safely. Okay? And we want you to enjoy. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
The timing was right for lucky fourth graders who had recess at the end of the ceremony. They were the first ones to jump, climb, and slide on their new, improved playground.